So in the last video, you've learned how to identify your emotion and why that's important. You see, if you don't understand why that's important yet, you've got to understand that what is not acknowledged cannot be accepted, and what is not accepted cannot be healed. My friend, welcome to video number 3, week 3, day 3, however long this is taking you to move through this. This is on your time. So ultimately, it is so vitally important for us to learn how to not only identify the emotion that we are currently experiencing in this time of heartbreak, separation, and divorce, but it's ultimately really important to understand how to process that, how to remove it from your mind and body so that you can feel it more at peace, more in control of your life, rather than that past painful experience controlling you. You're beginning to control it. And how do you do that? Well, you have to learn how to process it. Now, listen, last video was really about helping you to identify and understanding the reason why you must identify is because anything that is denied cannot be acknowledged, and anything that is not acknowledged cannot be accepted, and anything that is not accepted cannot be processed and healed. So all of that is a very important step. So if you haven't did it yet, if you haven't checked out the exercises, if you haven't worked through the exercises yet, what are you doing? Wake up, let's go. We got work to do. And it's easy work. A lot of this is going to be easy work, but it's really about identifying the emotion, the 1 to 3 different emotions that we're constantly holding on to and experiencing and revisiting on a day-to-day basis because of the thoughts that we're currently thinking, of the story that we're currently telling ourselves. And a lot of our times in that video, we've understood that there are mechanisms that we oftentimes use that we believe could help us to experience the total processing of the emotion, the let go, the release. And those mechanisms are repression, suppression, escapism, and expression. And you've got to understand how you're currently using a mechanism that's not actually helping you really get to where you want to go. These mechanisms oftentimes cause us to experience temporary relief that eventually has us to revisit that pain again. And we are in this constant cycle of where we don't feel it, then we feel it. We don't feel it, then we feel it. We don't feel it, then we feel it. And I know you know that you're experiencing that. These emotions won't stop coming up. These thoughts of them won't stop coming up because ultimately our technique, we don't have one. We're not sure how to let go. We're not sure how to process. So that's this video. That's this week. That's today. And I'm excited that you're here because you're going to finally understand how you can begin to process the painful emotions, basically letting go of the emotions to process the painful emotion that you identified. Now, I understand where you're at. You're going through that heartbreak. You're going through the divorce. You're going through the separation. You're going through that loss. And ultimately, you don't want to experience this pain any longer. So you're like, Tyler, how do I stop feeling so crappy? How do I stop feeling so low? How do I stop feeling so down and discouraged and unmotivated? Well, you've got to learn how to sit with your emotions and process it, allowing them to love on them, to respect them, to see them, to be with them, to encourage them, to know that they need to be listened to. They're screaming for your attention. They're like, hey, I'm here and you're not paying attention to me. I need love. I need to be told I'm okay. I need to be respected. I need to be hugged. And those are oftentimes the emotions that we experience. You know, when they keep coming up, they're trying to tell you something and they're just trying to say, pay attention to me because I'm here. I'm not going anywhere until you actually allow myself to be heard, felt, seen, and loved. So now that you're starting to allow your emotions to be heard, loved, respected, and you stopped ignoring them through repressing them, suppressing them, escaping them, or expressing them, you're now more aware of the emotional poison that you're currently sitting with. You're now more aware of the never-ending cycle of thoughts, that the 3 main thoughts that you're constantly thinking of that causes you more pain. So now that you're aware of that, we can now focus on how to let go of that. Because the first step to healing is acknowledging where you're at or what you're feeling or the reality that you're living in so that you can begin to accept it and then move with it and move through it and release it and let it go. So we are now going to focus on implementing a daily practice that you can practice that will help you to accept, process, and let go and release the emotions from your mind and body. And this is super important here because we need to begin to start to learn how to let go of things. Actually, we let go of a lot of things. Think about all the things that you used to let go of, all the red flags, all the ways that they mistreated you. To remember, once again, there's a lot of things that you put up with that you decided to ignore and let go of so that you can continue to stay with that person that was, let's just call it out for what it is, poison for you. Can you reflect back to a time when you were with your significant other or with your ex, and there's a lot of things that you just decided to let go of, to just forgive, to kind of let be, rather than bring it into your present or bring it into the future of that relationship? I'm sure there's plenty of things. I'm sure that there's plenty of times that they made you question the relationship, but you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to let it be, and I'm going to just move on from it. And you're going to have to do the same thing with this. You see, the first step to letting go of anything is to understand that you have to make the decision that you want to let go of it. A lot of the reasons why people can't let go or move on is because they have not yet made the decision to let go or move on. You see, a lot of the people that I coach or spend time with oftentimes answer the question in this manner. I often ask them, if your ex were to come back and say that they're a changed individual, say that they love you, that they miss you, that they only have eyes for you, want you, believe in you, I believe, and they're going to try and do everything that they can to win you back, are you going to take them back? And if you answered yes to that question, my friend, you're going to find it challenging to move on, because you're sitting on the fence and you can't make moves sitting on a fence. You've got to make a clear distinction and decision. You got to identify, hey, I want to move on. I'm committed to this decision and I am going to move on. That means I cannot go backwards. I can't go back to the same location that hurt me. I can't expect to heal if they hurt me. I can't expect to heal if they made me sad. I can't expect to heal around them. You can't heal and create happiness in a location that made you sick and unhappy. And a lot of us keep trying to do that by re-entering a relationship that made us sick and unhappy. So we got to knock that off. We got to change our perspective. We got to understand that the first step to letting go of anything that you want to let go of, your ex, an emotion, your breakup, your divorce, that past, is I want to. I'm committed to, because I know I can let go, I will let go, and I must let go for my greater future, for my better self, for my kids, for my family, for my job, for my career, for my, for the future me. You're going to let go. And this is how we're going to let go. You're going to let go by understanding how to process the emotional pain. This week, we're going to really focus on processing the pain by allowing yourself to feel it so that you can heal it. A lot of us don't allow ourselves to feel it so that we can heal it. We don't allow ourselves to sit with it so that we can allow ourselves to experience it, to acknowledge it, to be with it. You see, a lot of relationships would probably work out if we just spent more alone time together, connecting to that thing, to that person. But a lot of relationships fall apart because we don't spend enough quality time presently engaged and active in that relationship. We're oftentimes on our phones watching Netflix, playing video games, out with our friends, ignoring and taking advantage of our partners as time continues on. So we need to really learn how to spend time with our pain, with our past, with our emotion long enough so that you'll be able to free it from your mind and body. It's all it needs. It just needs time and attention. That's really what it needs. It needs you to take care of it. So it's time to take care of it so that we can let it go. So I understand that this release is going to be challenging. It's not going to be easy. It's not, you listen to this video once and you're going to be like, I'm freed up. Here we go. I hope that was you. I hope that's you, but it's not going to be you because you have habitual thought patterns that are constantly repeating themselves that we need to work on and change. So to do that, we've got to first understand that once you've learned to identify the thought, the emotion, the painful past that's causing you to feel the way that you do, you've identified it, you've acknowledged it, you've accepted it, you're ready to move on and let go. You now have to learn how to release it. And in order for you to release it, I often like to say, you've got to release it, the negative, and then replace it with a positive immediately. If you don't do that, you're going to be stuck in that negative experience. We can't just expect ourselves to feel better after we let go of an emotion when we don't have anything to replace it with. We've got to make room for it. So we remove it and then we replace it with a more positive and powerful emotion. So let's talk about what we can experience this week, what you're going to do this week. Well, overall, I want you to understand that we as human beings have these things, I know it's simple, called emotions, but you've got to understand the function of the emotion. You got to understand really what it is and what it's saying and why it's there. And once you understand it, then you can kind of separate yourself from it, because a lot of ourselves believe that we are what we feel, that I am my emotion. If I am mad, then I am mad. Well, that's not the truth. You are the person experiencing the emotion, not the emotion in and of itself. You're the witness behind the emotion, not the emotion. You still hold control, and you can choose differently every single time you feel a certain way. You can choose to be mad, depressed, happy, joyful, whatever you want to experience, you can choose it because you're the witnesser. You're not the emotion. So the function of emotions is to identify and express our needs and our goals. If you're feeling a positive emotion, that generally means that you're in a situation that's telling you that you're on the right path and you're meeting your needs, your desires, your goals, your standards, your values, your beliefs, and your expectations. You're on the right path. That's what positive emotions are telling you. Now, if you're experiencing a negative emotion, you're likely getting a signal that there is some sort of threat to meeting your needs, to your desires, goals, standards, values, beliefs, or expectations, which makes sense, right? So you had an expectation that you would be with this person forever or for a long time, and now you're not. Now they're no longer there, and now you're getting this threat. You're feeling this threat of loneliness, this emptiness, this hopelessness, this depression, this unmotivated, person that you're currently experiencing. And so what you need to do is we need to understand that basically our emotions are just triggers that are allowing us to realize, like, hey, we're either on the path or we're not on the path. And if we're not on the path, it's okay. We can get back on the path, right? So we got to really learn how to move through this. So let's talk about moving through this. So how do you begin to move through it? Well, the first thing that you need to do to let go of your painful past is to just sit with it and allow it to be. You've got to really feel it in order to heal it. Have you ever just tried to sit with it by grabbing a pen, grabbing a piece of paper, writing down the emotion of sadness, and just sitting with it without trying to change it? Just sit with it, recognize it, respect it, know that it's there. I don't have to revisit the past. That's all I need you to do is just feel it in order to heal it. Sit with it without trying to change it. Be with it and be great with it. Now, I'm going to kind of, there's 4 big exercises here that we're going to work through together, but I'm going to make sure we do this in 4 separate videos. I do believe that there are 4. Did I take 4 or did I do 3? Let me see here. I think exercise 3, and so yes, 4 exercises. Perfect. So I'm going to show you basically the first exercise in this video, and then the rest of the exercises will come in littler videos so that this video is not so long. So let's go with exercise number 1. What do we really need to do that's going to allow you to process this emotion, process this hurt, process this pain from the heartbreak, process, the unwanted thoughts that you're constantly thinking? Well, ideally, this is what I want you to do. And you're going to get all of the resources. Remember, always going to get the resources like always. So I'm going to share my screen with you so we can go over the exercise overview together, my dear friend. Let me go ahead and share this. Bada bing. We're going to go here. We're going to go the power of letting go. Bada boom. So here we go. So the first exercise here is to practice the daily meditation to let go of your emotions. But before beginning this week's exercise, you need to read The Power of Letting Go to help you understand what I mean when I'm talking about letting go. So you're going to get this documentation right here, okay? And you're going to read through this. You've got to read through it so that you understand what it means to let go and how to move on. You see, I'm going to read this beginning for you so that you understand kind of where I'm coming from. But you've got to understand that letting go involves being aware of a feeling, letting it come up, staying with it, and letting it run its course without wanting to make it different or do anything about it. It means simply to let the feeling be there and to focus on letting out the energy behind it. So the first step is to allow yourself to have the feeling without resisting it, venting it, fearing it, condemning it, or moralizing about it. It means to drop judgment and to see that it's just a feeling. The technique is to be with the feeling and surrender all efforts to modify it in any way, meaning to change it. Don't try to change it. Just allow it to be. Be with it. Sit with it. Feel it in order to heal it. let go of let go of wanting to resist the feeling. Because when you feel an emotion, you want to resist it. You want to stop it so you don't just, you feel like you won't die in the emotion. So it is resistance that keeps the feeling going. When you give up resisting or trying to modify the feeling, it will shift to the next feeling and be accompanied by a lighter sensation. A feeling that is not resisted will disappear as the energy behind it dissipates. So you're going to read over this. You're going to read through this so you understand what it means to let go and how do you actually begin to let go. And once you've understood that, I need you to understand that you got to stop pushing your emotions away, stop resisting them, stop allowing them to, be ignored, unappreciated, unloved, unworthy of being there with you. They are supposed to be there. You don't think that they are, but they are. They're just telling you, like, hey, I'm here. You're off track. We're going to get you back on track and we're going to move through this together. But you've got to learn how to just sit with it. So, listen, the way that you're going to do this is you're going to start practicing a daily meditation. Now, you can really practice any type of meditation. I'm not super strict on the technique in and of itself because any sort of meditation can really help you to be understanding of what you're experiencing, the feeling, to breathe through the experience of the emotion in and of itself. Sometimes, my friends, I literally just sit with myself, by myself, and I just allow myself to just feel whatever it is I'm feeling and just breathe with it. Just that's it. It doesn't stay very long, but I'm just like, man, I'm just stressed. I'm overwhelmed. I'm anxious. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm whatever. Those are basically the ones that I feel on a, daily basis: stressed, overwhelmed, anxious, nervous. Those ones are the big four for me. But ultimately, you might be feeling sadness, overwhelm, fear, hopelessness, aloneness, loneliness. And so what you want to do, if you haven't meditated before, no worries. Relax. It's going to be okay. Step one is to listen to the guided meditation daily, written by myself and spoken by Laurel. I'm not a good speaker all the time. I stutter. I fall over words. As you can see, I'm an imperfect human being. I was going to try to make this as perfect as I can, but listen, I've got my notes here. I've got my notes pulled up. You're seeing them right now. Like, I can't remember all of this. I want to make sure I stay on track for you. I want to make sure that you get the greatest quality information. And this is just me being real with you, sitting with you, spending time with you. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to implement this meditation in your daily life by scheduling it into your calendar. I mean, what isn't scheduled is not managed, and what isn't managed is not going to get done. So you've got to schedule this in your calendar. The goal is to listen to this meditation 7 times a week, once a day. So it's up to you to find time that will allow yourself to begin to dive into the core emotions that you've identified last week and begin to work on releasing them so that you can find peace, happiness, and hope. That's the idea here. Okay. So in order for you to understand this, really, you're just going to listen to the meditation. So in my drive here, you're going to get sent the meditation. And we'll be good to go. So you're going to go to the guide. Once again, this is going to be in the, you'll find it in the box below somewhere, I'm sure. But nonetheless, you're going to listen to this and you're going to allow that into your life. You're going to create space for that so that you can begin to process and let go of the emotion. So that's exercise number 1, is just practicing meditation. Meditation is so beneficial. I know you know this. If you don't know this, start to learn about meditation. I'm not here to be your meditational guide. I'm just here to just help you to understand that meditation was one of the key ingredients that helped me to really understand what I was experiencing and feeling and why I was experiencing it and feeling it. And I begin to respect it, create space for it, love on it, appreciate it. And I just allow it to be. When I started to acknowledge the feelings deep within, I started to heal deeper within. It was a beautiful process. So give it a try and listen. I need to talk about some side notes here on this experience and on this exercise. There are traumas, beliefs, desires, emotions, and thoughts. They're all highly complex. They are not just made of one emotion that you begin to let go of and then you are finally free of. You've got to understand that most of the time there are layers of emotions and different intensity levels, like onions, right? There are layers. There's a surface level and then a subsurface level, a core level. So when you first tune into something, whatever you're currently experiencing, whatever you wrote down from last week or last video, you will most likely feel resistance coming up first, which is covering the actual emotion. Right? In that case, use the same process for the resistance first, and then proceed to the next emotion coming up. So remember, when you have resistance, just let it go. Like, you know what? I'm not going to resist it. How do you stop resisting it, Tyler? Well, I literally just allow myself to sit, close my eyes, and just like release it. I just say release, release, release. And that mantra helps me to release the emotion that I'm currently experiencing. So while practicing the meditation technique, you will experience a lot of emotions with different intensity levels. I will warn you this. It can be very painful sometimes, and the emotions usually get very, very intense in a moment. So notice that you begin to focus on them. So when you begin to focus on them, you begin to put that highlighter on them and you highlight the shit out of it, right? You're like, yep, this is it. That's what I'm experiencing. That there is going to keep you stuck. In this case, you just need to learn how to just release. Once again, in that meditation, you're going to say release. You're going to work through it. You're going to be okay. So here I encourage you, as you continue to experience that intense emotion, to really keep going and allow the pain to come up and just stay present with it. It usually gets very intense before it starts to fade away. So when you know you're experiencing that intenseness, you're going to experience the peace after. It's going to be intense before it goes away. So it's not enough to work on one belief, trauma, thought, or emotion just once. Don't just practice this meditation just once. You should implement it daily. Do it for months, and it's going to continue to work for you. You're going to continue to release. Remember, we've got a full life ahead of us, friends. This is not it. This is just the beginning of the renewal that's going to take place. This is the chaos. We're going to reclaim control. This is the heartbreak. This is going to be the happiness. There's things. So the first thing that happy people do that are well equipped to move through a heartbreak is they meditate. They create the space. They stop resisting it. They start to allow it to be. And you're going to do that all in this meditation. So how do you know when you're done with the meditation? That's oftentimes a very familiar question that I get. Well, actually, the mind will let you know when you're done. You are not, or when you're not done, so that you just can keep going. It's going to let you know, hey, you've done it. You're good. The basic rule of thumb for knowing when you are done, when letting go has happened for you, is when you feel totally free in your body, your mind, and just more at peace. When you just feel a little bit more at peace, like it's not controlling you anymore, that's when you know you're done. So, some words of warning. Your mind will tell you that this technique is too simple and it will not work. But that is just your mind knowing that you are onto something great. Okay. So in this meditation, you might also experience that you will simply forget about the things that you let go of because there are no longer in your emotional or mental memory. You're going to forget, like, they'll just be like, what was I thinking about again? What emotion was that? You're just going to, it's going to be a beautiful thing, but they are simply resolved. That's why it's so harder for you to remember that the technique works so beautifully. So you got to learn, hey, listen, it's going to be a beautiful thing for you. You also need to understand that you will feel empty and free the more you practice it, which is a good thing. You're going to feel more empty from the pain, and you're going to feel more free from the emotion. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So give this a try, okay? Once again, you're going to get the letting go. Letting go page, and you're also going to get the audio to practice the meditation. But nonetheless, start practicing meditation. Put that into your life, because you can look up YouTube videos on how to let go. Just look up a YouTube video like releasing meditation, letting go technique meditation, anything like that, letting go of emotions meditation. It's going to help you significantly. You don't have to use this one. This is the one that I recommend, but listen, give it a try. Allow meditation back into your life, because that is going to be a great release for you. Now on to exercise number 2, which you will find in the next video.